You are not what the world sees. The image you present to others, no matter how refined, friendly, or coherent it may seem, is just a fraction of what resides within you. And as uncomfortable as it may be to admit, it is precisely this image that begins to define how you see yourself. Carl Jung called this construction persona, the mask you wear to function in the world. It is not a lie. It is a necessary psychic creation, a symbolic armor shaped by the demands of social life. The persona protects, organizes, allows for relationships and roles. But it is, above all, a boundary, a layer between what you show and what you hide, between what you have learned to be and what you truly are. The problem arises when this mask becomes the only possible face, when the individual forgets that they are acting and begins to believe that the character is their real self. You work, talk, interact, publish, respond, and gradually, your being starts to mold itself to the expectations of others. Until one day, without realizing it, you begin to feel an emptiness, an unease that has no name, a feeling of being present in the world, but absent from yourself. The persona is the first archetype of our journey, and like any good guardian, it demands something before allowing the crossing: awareness. It protects, but it also limits. The issue is not to destroy it, but to recognize it for what it is: a bridge, not a destination. You need it to navigate the world, but you need to go beyond it, to inhabit your own soul. Think carefully. How many times do you say what others expect to hear? How many times do you smile out of obligation? How many times do you act out of fear of rejection or desire for acceptance? This is not weakness. It is the game of the persona, a game we all play, but few have the courage to interrupt. Jung warned, the more a person identifies with their persona, the further they distance themselves from their self. The persona is a contract with the collective, but the self is the call of the individual, of wholeness, of what pulses within you, even when everything is silent. That is why this video is not about masks, but about crossings. You will be introduced to 7 fundamental archetypes, living images that arise in dreams, myths, symbols, and more importantly, in your own life experience. These figures are not outside of you. They live within your psyche, waiting for the right moment to emerge, not as threats, but as guides. And the first step is this: to realize that there is a mask, and that behind it, there is someone waiting to be seen. The journey to discover the true self does not begin with grand answers. It begins with the simple, yet radical, willingness to look at oneself, without masks, without filters, without fear. So, if you have made it this far, it is because something in you has already begun to move. The question now is, are you ready to cross the door? Inside you, there is someone you have tried to silence, hide, control, or even eliminate. But they have never left. They remain there, waiting, observing, manifesting in the most unexpected moments. This someone is your shadow. The shadow, in Carl Jung's thinking, is not an internal enemy. It is a legitimate part of the psyche. An archetypal figure that carries everything you have, excluded from your conscious identity. Fears, impulses, repressed desires, but also forgotten gifts, cursed truths, dormant strengths. Everything you cannot accept as yours, everything you consider incompatible with the persona you have built, is pushed into this dark region of the soul. Have you noticed how certain reactions escape your control? How sometimes you explode with anger over something seemingly trivial, feel jealousy without wanting to, or sabotage moments of achievement and peace? These are traits of the shadow trying to emerge.